The holidays are finally here. It's my most favorite time of year. That rhymed. I didn't mean for it to, but it doesn't matter because today we're going to be making a Christmas morning breakfast recipe that can be eaten before, during, after you open presents. It doesn't matter. You're going to love it. So let's go ahead and get started. So growing up, we had the exact same thing for breakfast every Christmas morning while we were opening up gifts. We had grits and breakfast casserole, and it was delicious. My mom made the breakfast casserole ahead of time and then made the grits fresh that morning, and it was always so good and such a treat to look forward to. So today I thought I'd share a recipe that would make a perfect Christmas morning breakfast. It is caramelized onion and spinach quiche, and it's actually been a top recipe at Feeling a Southern Soul for years, for a very long time, and for good reason. It's super delicious. This can be made ahead of time for Christmas morning. It can be prepped the day before, popped in the oven that morning, all the things. I'll explain that later on. But first, let's go ahead and get step one done, which is the pie crust. Now for this, I'm using a homemade pie crust recipe, which is included in the recipe card down below or in the magazine this month. But you can also use a store-bought pie crust, so it totally doesn't matter, homemade or store-bought, it's completely up to you. But the next thing that we're gonna do is go ahead and get the caramelized onions going, since that takes just a little bit of time. So first we're going to thinly slice one large yellow onion. In a large skillet, add 1 to 2 tablespoons of butter, then the thinly sliced onion, and turn on medium-low, and we're going to cook this for about 30 minutes. Key to caramelized onions is to go low and slow. After the onions are just caramelized or almost to that point, we're going to add in about 5 ounces of spinach and another half to 1 tablespoons of butter, depending on how much extra fat that you need to cook, and let the spinach wilt down for about 5 to 10 minutes and incorporate nicely into that caramelized onion. After the spinach is wilted and the onions are nice and caramelized, turn the stove off and remove from the heat, and then we're going to work on the egg base. In a large bowl, you're going to add 8 eggs and whisk up with a fork until all the yolks are broken and everything is thoroughly combined. Next, you're going to add half a cup of milk, a half a teaspoon of salt, a 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes, and 1/8 teaspoon of white pepper. Go ahead and mix that until everything is incorporated and combined. Next, you're gonna add 1 cup of grated Swiss cheese. I always like to grate my own cheese from this. I just think it results in a better texture and flavor. So go ahead, just buy a block of Swiss cheese, grate it yourself, and add it straight into the egg mixture. After you've added the cheese, go ahead and finally add the caramelized onions and whisk one final time until everything is combined and the cheese and onions and spinach are evenly distributed throughout the whole egg mixture. Finally, you're gonna pour carefully into a blind baked pie crust and place into a preheated oven at 350 degrees for 45 minutes. Once it is finished baking, remove from the oven and let cool for about 10 to 20 minutes. Then it is ready to serve. This can be served hot and fresh after it's cooled or at room temperature, or I'm not gonna lie, cold leftovers straight from the fridge are also super delicious. If you wanna make this ahead of time for Christmas morning, you have 2 different options that you can do. You can go ahead, follow this recipe just like we just did, bake off completely and let cool, wrap tightly in plastic wrap and place it in the refrigerator. Then you can remove it the next morning and either eat cold, or you can let set and come to room temperature for a little bit, or just pop it in the microwave and warm up. It totally doesn't matter. However you want to do it is totally fine, but that way the baking is already done and Christmas morning breakfast is ready to go in the fridge whenever you're ready to enjoy it. The other option is to go ahead and make the egg filling in the large bowl, have everything whisked and combined, put some plastic wrap over top and store it in the fridge, and then on Christmas morning go ahead and remove it, pour it in your pie crust, throw it in the oven, and that way it's hot and fresh whenever you're ready to eat. Christmas morning traditions are one of my most favorite things in the entire world. I love the holiday season so much. I love all the recipes that we get to share year after year with friends and family and all the traditions that come with it. Thank you so much for following along with me in my kitchen today. For the full recipe, head on over to KentuckyLiving.com. Everything that you need to know can be there, plus the make ahead options. Thank you again for joining me. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas from our kitchen to yours. And until next time, or next year, I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.